Hey guys, so this is going to be just a quick end of the year stats. What I did over the year. I'm going to use Goodreads. Your Goodreads isn't the easiest to figure out and use. I haven't used it. Really, when I started the YouTube channel, I learned about Goodreads, and when I had started putting stuff on it, it kind of looks weird because if you look at it, you're like, oh, well, he's only used Goodreads for like a year and a half. Well, I've only had the YouTube channel for a year and a half, so it does look like the bottom of my stats has just nothing on it. What I want to do with you guys though is I actually wanted to be a baseball statistician. When stat is that, I don't even know if that's how you say it, but I wanted to be the guy that handed the announcer stats. Like I love stats. I think they're so much fun, and I like to learn about them, work with them, do whatever. So I've always loved seeing people's stats videos, and a lot of people do really good ones doing like PowerPoint presentations and stuff. I never set up a PowerPoint thing, but I'd love to do this type of video. So, all right, so I'll shoot you over to that pre-recorded video where I did screen capture. When you head over there, go ahead and like the video and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys after we do this quick transition.
Hey guys, so this is going to be my 2020 my year in books from Goodreads. They kind of do all this. Like I said, wanted to be a statistician for a baseball announcers, people like that. I read 145 books this year. A couple of those are double ups. For some reason, Goodreads, if you do a reread, it counts as a double. I don't know why. 51,993 pages. Best year. Audiobooks are the reason. They Are Made Out of Meat was the shortest book I read. It was a short story, kind of tied in with the I Want to Believe readathon that I did. It's actually a reading challenge, not a readathon. It's just two books, a first contact story and a alien investigation story, or like a paranormal detective story. Longest book, Oathbringer. It was a reread this year. It was my second time reading it, and I enjoyed it more the second time than I did the first time. It's probably the least popular Stormlight Archive book because it kind of does so much world building, and enjoying the world building the second time around was great. I really enjoyed it. Average book length in 2020 was 358 pages. That's because I keep reading these giant, massive Stormlight books. 8 million shelves on the most popular Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone this year. Also a reread. It actually marks that weird because it's a reread that I read it twice, which I didn't. So it's more like 140 books instead of 145. But least popular book is The 10th Planet. It was shelved. It's like a pulp sci-fi story. He basically does this weird thing where he creates his own oxygen well in space, and like it's about as unscientific as you can get. I think it was written back in the 1940s, 1950s, but it's super pulpy, super action hero-y. Average rating for 2020, we're looking at 3.9 stars. So basically right around 4 stars. I got a couple reviews that pulled it lower than that. Had a couple 5 stars, had a couple 3 stars, 1 or 2 stars total. That's fireworks, not gunshots, by the way. Somebody's celebrating New Year's a little late. Highest rated on Goodreads, we're looking at Words of Radiance. I don't blame them. It's not my favorite Stormlight book, but it is the most fun Stormlight book, if that makes any sense. First review of the year was Explorers Guild. I did a review on it. It is the most beautiful book I read all year. They combined an old style comics, kind of like Tintin, and words, and I really enjoyed that take on it. I didn't love the story. It was kind of co-written by Kevin Costner, but the book itself was beautiful. Really slow paced. I think the problem I had is I got it from the library, and if you kind of kept it on a coffee table and read it every now and then, you would enjoy it more, but I felt like I had to push through it, and it wasn't a like push through type of story. You needed to kind of digest it and hang out with it a little bit, and I think that affected my review. Because the story was good, it just wasn't like one of those where you want to read it all the time. Like, you're not going to sit down and read it cover to cover in a couple days. You're going to read it slowly over a couple months. So finally read all of Narnia. Before this year, I had read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and Magician's Nephew, but nothing else. And I'm finally excited to say that I read the rest of them this year. All of them in audiobook. Not most of them, all of them in audiobook. Tale of Despero was good. I really enjoyed it. Great kids book. Stop, you're moving all over the place, buddy. 5 Love Languages was good. I listened to it on audiobook. I thought my love language was physical touch. I actually find out that it's words of affirmation. So really excited to learn that this year. Empire of Silence was really, really good. One of the best sci-fis I read all year. Really excited to continue with the series. I'm in book 2, and it's not as enjoyable as book 1, but I've heard book 3 is good, so hopefully I can push through and get to that. Ender's Game was a reread for me. Really liked it. Queen of Blood. I found the other 2 books on audiobook, so I might actually get this series done next year, or this year we're currently in. Leviathan Wakes. I found all the books at Half Price Books for about $8 a piece, up to like 7 or 8. I'm really excited to finish that. More Narnia, more Dresden Files. Really excited about that. More Narnia. Hamilton biography. Treasure Island was great. It was a full audio cast on Audible. They gave it to me for free. Reread of Dune. I bought Nikki and myself the mass market paperback of Dune and mailed it to her. And it's like, hey, let's buddy read this. And then she, when we got done, mailed me the beautiful this edition, and I was so thankful for that. She definitely wins in the gift department. Pillars of the Earth was good. I did Evening and the Morning just recently. Both this is a reread. The other one was the first time. Enjoyed it. First Faulkner short story, Red Leaves, is weird, but the other ones are much better. Sinlin Ascends, one of the best books I've read. My buddy, if you guys watch the Tolkien of the Golden Age of Fantasy, where I did the article, that guy is the guy that recommended Sinlin Ascends to me, and his name's Thomas. He's a wonderful guy. He's a missionary in Belgium. Super awesome guy. Doing my reread of all the Cosmere books. I had read most, but not all, and so this was the start of it for me. Way of Kings, my favorite Cosmere book. Really excited to go ahead and do that. Dark Matter was fun. Talked with my wife about that when I got home, and was like, "Hey, babe, I got to tell you what I was thinking about." More Barsoom. I didn't know if I went over that when we were up here. Started the Barsoom series. I'd heard about it for years. I'll read that in a minute. Leaping Wolf was the best self-published book I read all year. Wildcat was fantastic, but Leaping Wolf was even better. Really enjoyed it. Same people, sort of, but he's from a different tribe. He's kind of like her nemesis-ish, but you got to read book 1 to know really who Leaping Wolf is. Barn Burning and Rose for Emily. Rose for Emily was, man, it was interesting. Dancer's Stream of Electric Sheep. Favorite sci-fi book I read this year. I know it's not new, but it's new to me. Rereading Harry Potter. You've kind of heard me talk about that. The Stand, yeah, the pandemic book that most people were reading. I probably gained the TV show's coming out too. I'm really excited. When the whole series is out, I'm going to sign up for CBS All Access and just binge it and then unsign up for it. Promise of Blood was good. Me and Christy read that. More Terminal World by Alistair Reynolds, really good. I'd heard so many good things about him, and this is one of his standalone books. I really enjoyed it. Let's see, more Cosmere stuff. I talked about that. Aliens Among Us. Man, it was so bad. It is a money grab to tell people that she's seen aliens. Shadows of Silence and the Force of Hell. More Cosmere short stories and Arcanium Unbounded. Really enjoyed it. Here's White Sands. Didn't love the comic series. I think they need to redo it and fix it. Xenos, my first Warhammer 40k book. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Found a NetGalley arc on that one. Need to read some more of it. Alloy of Law. This is my first read of it, and I loved Arrow 2. Arrow 2 is great. Beyond the Deep Woods, me and my son did a review of that. He's right here. Trying to keep him out of the camera, though. Yeah, I'll put the link in the description on that one there, buddy. Shadows of Self. Both of these and Bands of Mourning I read in like a week and a half. All 3 of them are good. They're pretty short as well. Memory Police was interesting. It was cool. Foundation, finally getting around to reading it. It wasn't really up my alley, but it was okay. Right about 2 on White Sands, you get a artist change, and it's weird. You can kind of even see it here. Like the whole art style changes, and yeah, they just need to redo White Sands. It's not Sanderson quality. I think most people who have read it say that. Right around the time George Floyd died, I read this. And then Color of Compromise is, if you're a Christian in America and you care about race, this is the book that you need to read. It is really good. Calm down.
Do you have any viewers in different countries?
I do.
Oh.
All right, hold on. Let me finish up. Firewalkers by Adrian Tchaikovsky, also a NetGalley arc. I wanted to read some Tchaikovsky and was really excited. I didn't enjoy this one, though. Michael Crichton's Sphere. Wow, amazing. The way he described the science is super fantastic, and I really, really enjoyed it. This I read when I was much younger, and then it's a reread for me this year. Consider Phoebus, I didn't love, but I've heard keep going with the culture series. It gets better and better. Emperor's Soul, best Sanderson short story by a long shot. Six of the Dusk, cool story though. This is where all the chickens come from. So if you're a Stormlight fan and you're like, hey, chickens, this is where they all come from. Berserk, you got to start with the Golden Arc. I see people start here. This was the Black Swordsman arc, and you have to start with the Golden Arc. Even if you started with watching the anime that's on Netflix, they've got it in like 3 movies right now, and then read this, you will appreciate Berserk so much more. You will understand what this is, where it comes from, and why it's important. This symbol right here. 11th Metal was good. Not some of these kind of felt like, just short stories that he threw in there. Mistborn Secret History, Kelsier has a lot of time with that. Calm down, buddy. And Lightning Thief, finally getting to Percy Jackson. Trying to get him to read Percy Jackson. He's taking his time.
I'm only on like chapter 8. I'm literally less than
We'll look at it when maybe me and you do a review, okay? Lost Fleet, that is a wonderful. Dauntless is the first one that's good. We're up to book 3 now. We're starting book 4 this month. Red Walls a reread for me. Really enjoyed it. One Piece, getting into that. Stories of Your Life. Good. All good. Note to Self was a self-published book. I didn't love it. I gave some very, hopefully, constructive criticism on it. 2 vampire books and one. So we're in October now. Lesser Dead by Christopher Buehlman was the best vampire story I've ever read. Even better than Dracula, in my opinion. More Dark Tower, The Wastelands. I should have read more Dark Tower. I didn't get enough into it. Valis, there's a review if you want to check it out. Get my thoughts on that. And I don't have enough time in this video to do that. More Harry Potter. This is the worst book in the whole series. It really is. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I didn't read it twice. It is a reread. Shadows over Innsmouth and Call of Cthulhu. Much easier to digest. Just go to YouTube, search for the stories, and there's somebody who's dramatized it, dramatized the audio. It's so much better. More Percy Jackson, Bleach, a lot of fun. I liked it quite a bit. I was lukewarm on Poppy War. Sleepy Hollow was good. That was another Halloween read. Grant by Ron Chernow. I think I have a favorite biographer. The way he does biographies is so great. It's really the reason I did the presidential read-along, and excited for that.
Almost done.
Almost done. Hold on, just another minute.
With the true recording.
All right, love you, buddy. Hold on. All right, more Lost Fleet, more Stephen King, more Percy Jackson, first Terry Pratchett book, Mort. There's reviews on all of these. We'll talk about maybe linking them. I don't know if I will or not. Crimson Campaign. I just watched the live stream that they all did with the Shelf Space Discord, and they were really low on it. I enjoyed Promise of Blood and Crimson Campaign, and I'm enjoying book 3. So I am in the minority for the Shelf Space people for Promise of Blood and the Powder Mage trilogy. Evening in the Morning audiobook, it was good. It did feel like a little bit of a retelling of the Pillars of the Earth. Shadows of What Was Lost, man, it started slow but got great. Rhythm of War, also very, very, very good. Color of Law is like the, if you see those maps, those are actually maps that they did. When I do the review, I'll talk about it more, but it was like trying to segregate things. Don't get in the camera, big guy. They were segregating people by where they could live, and the government kind of did that. I didn't like the way it was. I'll do a review on it. It deserves a review. That one in Color of Compromise. Prisoner of Azkaban, very, very good. Favorite of the reread so far. Liked it quite a bit. I'm going to do an animation station on 1 through 5 on One Piece. And Red Rising, great. Really, 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 really good. Everybody was right when they said it's very good. And then Quantum of Shadows was the last one. This is an e-arc, and my library had it as an audiobook, so I finally got around to reading it. Didn't love it. My review on it, if you're curious.
Pause it if you need to read that whole thing.
They know how to work YouTube. And here is my 2020 reading challenge. We've got 145 books out of 50 books read. A couple of those are rereads, so it's probably around 140, 290%. That will bring this video to a close. So if you want to be my friend on Goodreads, you can see all this. I pretty pretty much use it when I'm doing like I keep an eye on like how much I've read something. Where's the good view of it? On the phone, it's actually a better view on like your status. I've got a lot of books that currently reading. So I did 100 books for the next year, if you're seeing that right there. But Washington Alive, currently in progress. Elantris, both of these are audiobooks. I'm physically reading this one. I'm a bit farther. I'm actually like around here. Bioartistry is on my Kindle, also on my Kindle. Audiobook, it's kind of on hold for a minute though. Yes, because I have one story left to read. Is The Hope for Elantris. So as soon as I finish Elantris, I'm going to read that one, and then Arcanium Unbounded is completely read, and I've completely finished the Cosmere. So that's why I've got that there. And then we need to finish this one, me and you and your sister.
Yeah, maybe we can all do a review on that one.
We'll talk about it. All right, so that is this video. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you want to, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have fun reading a book, guys. Bye.